Good afternoon. Today we are going to take a new chapter, our last chapter, chapter 7, Division for Growth and Reproduction. In this chapter, we are going to study about how cell division takes place, how cell divides for growth, and how cell divides for reproduction. So, for that, we should know how cell division takes place in different steps. For that, we can see the cell cycle, and now we can see cell cycle. Okay. So, in the cell cycle, you can see that first step, number of cell organelles increases. So, if a cell is dividing into two, what happens? The number of cell organelles inside that cell will be increases. Then quantity of cytoplasm increases, cell size increases, genetic material duplicates. Then first the division of nucleus takes place, then the division of cytoplasm takes place. After completing the division of nucleus and cytoplasm, what will happen? The cell will be divided into two cells, two daughter cells. And the division of nucleus and division of cytoplasm, that phase is known as division phase. And after that, the interphase. Interphase is the preparatory phase. So, cell cycle means a cell attains its complete growth during the interphase. The fully grown cell undergoes division and becomes a daughter cell. As the interphase and division phase get repeated in a cyclic manner, they together constitute the cell cycle. So, the division phase and the interphase together constitute the cell cycle. Is it clear for you? That's about the cell cycle. Then we all know that how we are growing. Our body is made up of cells. We know that. And it is the structure, basic structural and functional unit of life, cells. And we are growing. How we are growing? We are growing by division of cells. We have studied about the cycle. From a single cell, we are growing into inside our mother's womb. And from a single cell zygote, we are growing into a full-grown baby. How it is occurring? The zygote, the single cell, has the capacity to multiply and divide. And how these divisions are taking place. And that we will study. And in that, first we are going to study about the cell division. The cell division mitosis. Mitosis is a type of cell division that helps in the growth of our body. Is it clear for you? So, how mitosis is taking place that we can see. In mitosis, the first step occurring is the karyokinesis. Karyokinesis means the division of nucleus is known as karyokinesis. The division of nucleus takes place in 4 different steps. You can see that now, that which are the 4 different steps that are taking place in the division of nucleus. First one is the prophase. In prophase, the beginning of the prophase and end of the prophase, 2 steps are there. In beginning of prophase, chromatic reticulum is present at nucleus, nucleolus and nucleus is present. And after the end of the prophase, in the beginning of the prophase, the structure of the cell is like that. Chromatic reticulum will be present at the center of the cell, and that is in the nucleus. Then after the end of the prophase, what we can see, the chromosomes and the chromatic reticulum will condense to form the chromosomes, and the spindle fibers will also be formed. Then in the second step, metaphase. In metaphase, what we can see, the chromosomes will be moving to the center, and chromatic, you can see in the picture, centrosome, that chromatic spindle fibers are formed in the metaphase. That is the second step. Then in the third step, anaphase, what happens? The chromosomes will be moving to the folds, and daughter chromosomes will be formed, and it is moving to each fold. to each end. That is the chromosomes duplicates and the daughter chromosomes formed will be moving to each end. That is happening in the anaphase. Then in telophase, you can see daughter nuclei is formed. So two nuclei is formed inside a cell with the equal number of chromosomes and equal number of daughter chromosomes. That's the now the cell consists of two nuclei with the equal genetic material, equal number of chromosomes. So that's the first step of mitosis, that is nuclear division, the division of the nucleus. Then the second step of the mitosis is cytokinesis. Cytokinesis means division of cytoplasm. The division of nucleus is similar in the plants and animals, but the division of cytoplasm is different in the plants and animals. So you can see the division of cytoplasm now. Here you can see the first one is the division of cytoplasm in an animal cell. During the cytokinesis, the plasma membrane invaginates at the center of the cell. So the plasma membrane invaginates at the center of the cell. Then it will be deeper inside the that plasma membrane and division of the cytoplasm is known as cytokinesis, and the stages in the division of nucleus is almost similar in plants and animals that we have already told. The plasma membrane invaginates in the animal cell and it will be divided into that depression will be going deeper and deeper, and that cell will get divided into two daughter cells in the case of animals. And in the case of plants, you can see small vesicles are formed between the daughter nuclei. So two daughter nuclei are formed after karyokinesis. Division of nucleus is known as karyokinesis. So after karyokinesis, two nucleus will be formed inside a single cell. So in the case of plants, what we can see small vesicles are formed between the daughter nuclei, and after that next step will be what the small vesicles join together to form the cell plate. The cell plate extends to both the sides and joins with the plasma membrane. After that you can see in the picture what happened. The single cell will be divided into two different cells. The cytoplasm division completes and the cell division also completed, and the daughter cell will be formed. New daughter cell is formed. That's about the cytoplasm division. So cytoplasm division is cytokinesis. Cytokinesis is different in the plants and animals, and the karyokinesis means the division of nucleus, that is similar in the plants and animals. Then about the different stages of growth. The different stages of growth are zygote, embryo. First zygote will be formed, then embryo, then fetus, then infancy, then childhood, adolescence, then adulthood, and last is the old age. These are the different stages of life. Once more I will repeat it for you. Zygote, fetus, infancy, and then childhood, adolescence, adulthood, and old age. The old age is the last stage of our life. Okay, so we are starting from the zygote, and when we reach the old age, what happened to our cell division? You can see that. What are the points coming under the old age? During the old age, what happens? Rate of cell division decreases. Then availability of oxygen to cell decreases. So during the old age, we have already told that for the zygote continuous multiplication and division is taking place in the case of zygote. But in the case of old age, what happened? The rate of cell division decreases. Then availability of oxygen to cell decreases. Deterioration of cell increases. Then muscles shrink. Our muscles will get shrink during the old age. Then production of energy decreases. Then efficiency of sense organs decreases. You all know that during the old age time, there will be difficulty for hearing and eyesight will be decreased. Likewise, so many difficulties will be faced during the old age. So once more I will repeat for you, rate of cell division decreases, availability of oxygen to cell decreases, then deterioration of cell increases, muscles shrink, production of energy decreases, then efficiency of sense organs decreases. These are the factors happening. These are the things that happening during the old age. During our growth time only cell division is happening in our body. But during the old age, the cell division is decreasing. And there is no further growth after the old age, is it? So old age is the last stage of our life. So we should always help the old people and respect them. Okay. Then next about the difference between the growth in plants and animals. You can see the difference between the plants and animals growth. In the case of animals, animals grow only up to a certain stage. But in the case of plants, plants can grow throughout their life. Because what's the reason why plants can grow throughout their life? We have studied in our 8th standard, and that is because of the presence of meristematic tissues. Plants can grow throughout their life. In the case of animals, animals grows only up to a certain stage. Animals do not have a localized centers of growth. If growth is happening for animals, the full body growth will be happening. There is no particular localized center of growth for animals. But in the case of plants, plants is localized only at certain parts. So in the case of plants, the growth is localized only at certain parts. That's about the difference between the division, growth in the plants and animals. So once more I will repeat for you, that is a cell cycle. Cell cycle means division phase and interphase together constitute the cell cycle. During the cell cycle, what is happening? The number of cell organelles inside the cell increases. Then the cytoplasm, the amount of cytoplasm in the cell increases. Then genetic material duplicates. All these things are happening during the cell, for a cell that is preparing for the division and during the cell cycle. So cell cycle consists of two phases, that is which are the two phases coming in the cell cycle, in division phase and the interphase. And division phase means what? Division of the nucleus and the cytoplasm. Division of nucleus is known as karyokinesis and division of cytoplasm is known as cytokinesis. Division of nucleus takes place in 4 steps and in mitosis. Mitosis means the type of cell division for the growth of our body. The growth of our body is happening because of the process mitosis. In mitosis first take place the division of nucleus and that process is known as karyokinesis. In karyokinesis that is taking place in 4 steps, that is which are the prophase, anaphase, metaphase, anaphase and telophase. You should study in that order itself. First the prophase, then metaphase, then anaphase, and the last comes the telophase. In telophase, what happens to nuclei, the chromosomes, when the chromosomes get duplicated, the chromosomes again get condensed into or again get transformed into chromatin reticulum, and 2 nucleus will be formed during the telophase. 2 daughter nuclei will be formed during the stage of telophase. In prophase, the chromatin reticulum it will be formed as a network. Then it will be transformed into chromosomes. And that chromosomes during the metaphase, that chromosomes will move to the center of the cell. Then after that, the chromosomes get duplicated and the daughter chromosomes will move towards the pole, each pole. Then the last phase in telophase, the chromosomes will again transform into each pole. The chromosome will again transform into chromatic reticulum. Then two new daughter nuclei are formed. When two daughter nuclei are formed, karyokinesis, that is nuclear division will be completed. The next start the cytokinesis. Cytokinesis means the division of cytoplasm. Karyokinesis is same in the case of plants and animals, but in the case of cytokinesis, plants and animals are having different mode of cytoplasm division. After the division of nucleus, then the division of cytoplasm, and then the two daughter cells will be formed. Then the cell division is completed. Is it clear for you? Then we have studied about which are the different stages of growth. The different stages of growth is zygote, our first cell, and that is the starting of the life inside our mother's womb is the zygote. After the zygote, the next stage is the fetal stage. Then comes the infancy, then childhood, then adolescence, then adulthood, and last stage is the old age. During the old age, all our activities will be controlled. That is, cell division decreases, energy production decreases, our body will be weak, the functioning of our sense organs, everything will be decreased. Then we have discussed about the difference between the growth of the plants and animals. Animals cannot grow throughout their life. They can grow only up to a certain stage of their life. And the growth of the animals is not localized in any part. But in the case of plants, they can grow throughout their life. And in the case of plants, their growth is localized in some of the part of the plant. Why plants are growing throughout their life? Because of the presence of meristematic tissue, the plants are able to grow throughout their life. Okay, that's about the division for growth and reproduction. Remaining part we can take in the next class. Okay.